Hey mamas, so as some of you may know, I recently gave birth to my second son, and I currently have two little adorable boys under the age of 2. And I wanted to take a moment to reflect on my first month of postpartum and how that's going for me. And so I wanted to share some thoughts and insights with you. So let's dive in. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is how my physical recovery is going. So far, I feel great. A little over 3 weeks ago, after giving birth to my son, I had to go into the hospital for a blood transfusion, and I had a UTI. I share a little bit about that in my Zomi Fit review video, and so if you want to see how that went, then that's the place to go watch that. However, I feel way better since that point and after giving birth. But I did have a small tear when I gave birth, and it hasn't fully healed yet, but it's a lot better than, obviously when I gave birth. And I'm still bleeding, but I'm not using a full pad anymore. Instead, I'm using a panty liner, and I tend to change out my pads and my liners quite frequently throughout the day, and I'm not aggressively bleeding. I'm not bleeding, a lot, and so that's a plus. And then as for my milk, I've been producing a lot of milk. I've been pumping. I've been also using the mother's milk tea as well as sunflower lecithin, and I've been enjoying that combination, and my milk is satisfying my newborn, so I'm really happy with that. However, my newborn's latch is quite soft, so feedings take longer, and he can latch really great on my right side as opposed to my left side. And so I'm working on that. I haven't had any clogged ducts, which is really great because that is uncomfortable if you've ever experienced it before. As far as my emotional and mental health goes, I feel a lot more prepared this time around than I did in my first. And part of that is because I've already experienced giving birth and then the recovery process once before. But having 2 babies presents its own challenges. And so with that, I do feel more overwhelmed when both babies are crying and it's only me at home. It can feel very overwhelming, and just reminding myself to take a breath. Baby woke up from his nap. It was a little shorter than I had expected. Yeah. Okay, back into the video. 2 babies presents its own challenges, and when it's just me at home, it feels like a lot to juggle and almost feels nearly impossible. I know it's not impossible, but you really don't know how hard it's going to be until you're in it. And so when it comes to my emotional and mental health, I feel a lot better this time around than I did in my first, because I kind of had an idea of how it's going to be recovering wise, and you're just going to be taking things slow and not to rush yourself into anything physically or with work or just with relationships, and just not trying to overwhelm yourself. The first day I had the babies all by myself was probably the most overwhelming day I have ever felt in a very long time. My toddler required more attention from me. My newborn was constantly feeding like every hour almost that day, and that was the first day he started cluster feeding, and it was just a lot to handle all by myself. And so mentally and emotionally, I was just like, oh, this is a lot. That was the first day like reality hit me as to how difficult this can be, and I just have to remind myself, like, just take it moment by moment. As long as the babies are clean and fed and safe, then that is like what matters to me in that moment. And something else that I notice is I'm more short-tempered with my husband, and I feel so bad because it's not something I want for him to have to come home to, but he's really great at helping me to remember, like, just breathe, take a moment, and he steps in when I need him to. And so it's really great having that partnership. I haven't felt any postpartum depression. Sometimes I do feel anxiety, but as far as depression, that's been kind of not existent. And I don't want to say yet because I don't want it at all. But I know that going outdoors, getting some sun, eating the right foods, making sure I'm hydrated, maybe have a cup of coffee, anything that will help me feel better physically and emotionally and mentally, I know will pay off in regards to preventing postpartum depression. And I know, like, I don't know like what steps to prevent postpartum depression, but I know the things that make me feel good. Whoa, hi there. Something else is smelling my essential oils. I love them in the diffuser, but actually taking the time to pause and then go and apply the oil to my hand and smell it, it's amazing. Wild orange or citrus bliss or lavender, it's so good. Like, you can't knock it until you try it, and it really does help me just pause and just recenter myself. And another thing is moving my body. So yesterday my toddler was having a huge tantrum, and I just turned on some music and started dancing. And I'm not a great dancer, I don't even know how to dance, and I just started dancing and moving my body, and then he started copying me, and I just felt so good after, not just because I was moving my body, but because I got to enjoy it with my toddler, and he got to get out of his funk as well. And so even though it was overwhelming for me, I can imagine only how he felt, and he needed that movement. And so maybe having a toddler dance party is something that you can do to just lighten the mood and move your body, because it does help to move your body and release stress. Okay, so now adjusting to life with 2 babies. Holy cow, I can't believe I'm a mother of two little boys. And it's just been amazing, yes, but it's also like, whoa, like reality has set in. I feel like I'm a new person. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like I keep saying like, but just having 2 babies and having your arms constantly full, and just, I don't know, it can be overwhelming, yes, but almost it's like it's fulfilling at the same time, because you have your children, and I can just imagine how they're going to be when they're older. And they're built-in best friends for life. Ew, I'm getting so emotional right now. But they're built-in best friends, and I'm just really grateful to be able to have these 2 little boys. It's just, this is the overwhelm. It's not only overwhelming because of, things going on and shifting, but overwhelming in the sense of, wow, like, I'm so blessed. Sorry, I don't mean to get so emotional, but this is the reality. We truly are blessed, and okay, I'm rambling now. So a current challenge that I'm having is probably one that I didn't foresee for myself. It's not being able to get up early. I am someone who loves to get up early. It's kind of bugging me, but at the same time I'm letting it go, because like, duh, I just gave birth and I'm constantly doing things throughout the day, and I need my body to rest. So I've been getting up when my toddler gets up, and I don't really enjoy that, because like when he gets up, he may or may not be fussy or in a bad mood, and to prepare breakfast for him like while he's in the kitchen is not something that I really like right now. But it's where we're at, and so that's just one challenge. Another challenge that I've had is remembering to eat. I don't know why this is like hard for me. I only remember to eat when I'm hungry. And I'm like, okay, why am I doing this to myself? Recently, I've had to set reminders for myself, or set my things up the night before, and I haven't been consistent with it, but I know that's something that's going to benefit me. An overall reflection of my first month postpartum with 2 babies under 2, I'd say it's going good. We're not, you know what, I just have to give myself grace at this point. I've just been so hard on myself, like, the house isn't 100%, my car isn't 100%. I just have to let go of all these expectations I had, and I'm only realizing this now as I'm recording this. And so overall, I'm just really grateful to have this opportunity, not even to have this opportunity, to be a mother of 2 little boys. I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful for my husband as well, because this first month has been, everything it's constantly changing. Like, there will never be a day where it'll ever be the same, and I'm accepting of that. I'm someone who's very structured and organized, and when things are not planned out, it does get to me. But now I have to adjust to that. I have to have flexibility in my life, and I'm not used to that. But here we go. Like, it's on a whole new level with 2 babies, and so I'm just really, really grateful. And I feel really good. That's what matters. I feel good. As we talked about how I feel physically, emotionally, how adjusting is, and I just hope this video added some value into your life. And yeah, that's just my journey so far. So if you plan on breastfeeding and are interested in pumping, then watch this video where I try on the Zonely Fit wearable breast pump. It's a hands-free breast pump, and I absolutely love it. And so if you want to learn more about that, then go ahead and click this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, to continue watching our journey as a 2 under 2 family.